Welcome to my channel. Hopefully the little doggies back there are not going to bark too much and too loud, and we'll be able to keep up with this out here. It's a cloudy day in Oregon. Nothing new for us, but the weather is nice. So the temperature, obviously I'm wearing sleeveless shirt, so the temperature is very pleasant and nice, and it's kind of nice not having to have the sun glaring at us. So anyway, how are y'all doing? In case you're new to this channel, my name is Wendy. We talk about cross stitch a lot. We talk about things related to cross stitch. We talk about other things here, things that I've been working on and doing. So that's kind of an overview of what you might get here. Let's talk about some things that have been happening lately. Obviously, it was the 4th of July, Independence Day, just the other day. I hope y'all had a good day. I know a lot of our plans probably got changed from what we thought would happen, but that's the way it goes these days. Personally, I'm getting really run down from it, I guess. It just kind of is wearing on me. So we didn't do anything really outside of our home. We stayed home for the most part. I did some work outside in the yard. Then in the evening, we just kind of watched TV, didn't really do a whole lot. I could hear lots of fireworks going off in our neighborhood, like many of you probably did. Just within a block of our house, there was at least 3 families doing fireworks, their own personal fireworks. And if you've watched any videos, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you've probably seen a lot of illegal fireworks being shot off. And not just some, but a lot. I think Pretty Southern had put on her Instagram stories a TikTok feed that had shown somebody filming in LA up on a hill and just kind of doing a panoramic view of all the illegal fireworks that were going off, that were neighborhood ones. They weren't like city funded ones. These were like neighborhood, somebody went out and bought them kind of thing. And I'm sure that happened in a lot of places. That was not the only one. We're kind of doing what we can to celebrate our country, regardless of what's going on. We are still proud of our country and still proud to live here. And yeah, one way to celebrate, whatever we can do. Something else that I did about just over a week ago. Usually we go have kind of a date night type of thing on Fridays. And this a week ago, if you hear a chainsaw, I'm sorry, that's some neighbor. A little over a week ago, we went out to a river. Now, we have lots of rivers in Oregon. Like Minnesota has lots of lakes, we have lots and lots of rivers. So one of the rivers we went out to, it was about, from our house, it was over an hour. We actually started from a little bit closer destination, and it still took an hour because we were going in like rush hour traffic, so it took a while to get there. Beautiful setting. Sorry about the dogs. If you follow me on Instagram, I did put a clip on my stories, a little video, just showing the scenery. It's kind of like, it's a log cabin style type of building. So you could eat inside. They have a huge, beautiful patio outside. And the patio overlooks the river. The restaurant was called Stone Cliff Inn. Sorry if you didn't hear that. Stone Cliff Inn. So you were up on a cliff, basically, and you're looking down a bit to the river. It was beautiful. It was a warm day, but because we were in the shade on the deck, it was perfect. A little bit of a breeze. Oh, it was gorgeous. And the only way I found out about this is I had been talking with Beth Twist, and I had been asking her about some things. Restaurants just kind of happened to come up, and this was months ago. And she happened to mention this. So I decided, I think I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try. And okay, I paused it for a second to let the dogs get it barking out of their system, at least for this moment. So I would never have found that restaurant, if I had not been advised from Beth, and it was glorious. It is a little bit more on the spendy side, but well worth it if you can swing it. Sorry, I'm going to have to keep pausing. I think it's they've got several dogs, and one's a corgi, and he just yips and barks every single time I'm out here, and he happens to be outside. Just not good neighbor thing to do. You really need to have your dogs, kind of under control a little bit, or you can't enjoy your yard. And I'm working very hard to make my yard nice to be able to be in it. So, anyway, let's move on to some more fun things. Let's talk about some things that I've been sewing, what I've been working on. The last time that I showed you something, I got a little bit more done on it, and then my time frame that I was going to work on it ended, so I have started something new as well. So this is what I had been working on. So that's Summer Delivery by Plum Street Samplers. And let's see if we can get all of this in the shot. Gets kind of long here. So there we are. I've got a lot done. A lot. I know I have the horse to do and a few stars, but I think that is primarily it. The horse is pretty big, so it's going to take up a bit of space. The this part is the part that goes around the girth of the horse, as you can see. So yeah, I've got the horse and then a few stars left to do, and then I'll be done. So I'm really, really close to having this be a finish. Very excited. Very pretty. Enjoying it quite a bit. All right, so the thing that I moved on to, that was the second kind of 4th of July-ish type of thing that I had worked on. So I kind of wanted to move on to something besides patriotic and still be kind of summer related. So I moved on to this one, Summer by the Sea. This is the Just Nan series. I have all 4 seasons. I think within this year, I have already worked on the spring one again. So I've picked up summer, and I will show you. Let me get my threads out of the way here so you can see. Show you how much I've gotten done. And I will try to insert a picture, if I remember, of what I had done before. It was but I've gotten quite a bit done in 5 days, and I've got about another 5 days to work on it, and then I will put that aside and figure out what I'm going to work on next. I haven't got any idea yet. I usually just have to, when it comes time to switch, I look at my list, figure out, obviously which ones I haven't worked on, and kind of go from there, see how I'm feeling, because it changes all the time as to what I feel like working on and what I don't feel like working on. So I don't want to pick now and show it to you and then change my mind later on. Okay. Excuse me. Let's talk about purchases. Now, I think in my last video, I titled it something along the lines that I've went shopping. And I've done some shopping. I did a lot more shopping this last 2 weeks as well. So let's kind of go into what this, some of it's directly stitching related, some of it's not, all that good stuff. I went to Acorns and found this. Lovely. So cute. I really like Madame Chantilly. It's very cute, sweet things. So this is the main one, and then they show you an optional pillow with, instead of the mouse holding these, it's holding kind of like balloons that end up saying freedom. So may end up doing both. I'm not entirely sure. I do have one thing that I'm going to show you that I got that I might do the smaller one to put onto it, but we'll see. All right, and the other thing that I found while I was there, this lovely drum. So you've got basically two options. You've got the house, and it's shown out over here, and it shows that it's got a windmill and then some flowers that go on to the side. Or you've got this here that says Liberty. So you kind of have two options there of how you want to make it if you want to try to do it. What's on here? I don't know yet. I really like the house. I like the windmill as well with it. So I'll probably do that one. But as usual, I may change my mind. We'll see. Okay, some other things. I think it was just through an Instagram. I don't think it was like a Flosstube that she'd done. But Pretty Southern had shown that Hobby Lobby had these adorable little boards. And I got one. You can see it's not very big. It's just this tiny little thing. It measures about 7.5 by 3.5. And I'm guessing the 7.5 is clear over here at the handle. So it's small, but it's so cute. It's perfect for a small thing that you're going to use it for. Okay. They are $4, so I thought it was a little more spendy, but I didn't really have much to get there, so I ended up using my coupon, my 40%. I know it doesn't seem like a very much to use a coupon on, but if you're not getting much, you might as well use it on that. Brings the price down. Something else I found there, and it was already on sale, so that's why I didn't have to use my coupon, was this. Is this just the cutest little watering can ever? This is what I was thinking of maybe doing the mouse thing. I'm not sure how big the mouse is. I haven't looked at the measurements to see if it's too tall. But this would be really cute to attach it to this. What I was thinking when I saw this, because I didn't know what I would put on it, was possibly just attaching, I have really small magnets, and just attaching 4 little magnets to the stitched project to have it magnetized to this. And that's how I would hold it on there. I don't know yet for sure. But that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Something else, or a few other things that I found very cute that I'm probably going to use stitching related is I went to some antique stores. Surprise, surprise. I was looking for something specific, so it wasn't like I was just wandering through the antique stores. And I found this. This was not on my list of things I wanted to get, but I found this. They had there's attached like a little flower clip kind of thing, and then they put burlap type of stuff. Very cute. Very cute. So I'll probably do some kind of stitching thing with this. And it wasn't that expensive for somebody who had already done some stuff to it. Other things that I have gotten. If you have watched Michelle Bendy, she has talked a lot about if you find those trivets, snatch them up and use them as your finishing projects. So I had found some. So this one, obviously, House Mount Rushmore, I can take that part out and use it for a display of some kind. And then I had found a couple more. Let me see if I can get them turned around. That already have the centers taken out. And they were like $2 each. $2 for this cast iron stuff. So one's got a rooster. One's just a kind of a plain look to it. It's probably around a 4x4 size opening. So very nice little find that I got there. Something else that I found at Goodwill, that was some of the other stuff I went to because I was looking for specific things, so I was kind of hitting a variety of places just in case I found something, was this lovely tray. So I can stitch, I don't know, I can just use it as a tray, kind of like a serving tray if I want to, or I can stitch something and put it in here and put some glass over it and use it as a serving tray, or just decorative. It's kind of big. It's not huge, but it's big enough. It's not a tiny one. So yeah, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this. I mean, it was at Goodwill. It wasn't that expensive. So it was kind of a nice little find. Then one of the things that I have, oh, real quick, bird cage. This bird cage is awesome. So I'm going to show you kind of the scroll work that they did. And then there's a bird on the top. Very cute, lovely. It does have a little bit of dented damage here and down at the bottom, but it's really nice, and it wasn't that expensive. So I got it. Yes. I'll put that back. So some of those were just finds that I found because I was looking for something else. And the thing I started looking for, that I was trying to find, was frogs, glass frogs. Which I'm actually going to put in a quick little picture of a frog. So in case you don't know what these are for flower arrangements. You would put these in whatever container you're going to have your flowers in, and then put the stems in these holes, keep the flowers up. I found the most amazing frog ever. Literally, frog and frog. So I'm going to insert that real quick so you can see. It was adorable. So yeah, if I needed it, I probably would have tried to get it, but I think it was a little more on the spendy side, so I didn't really want to pay for it if I didn't have to. So I got a whole bunch of these. I actually found some. And then I had to find some other things that I needed to go with it. And that is what I have back here. I have created scissor holders. Okay, obviously you could use it for other things. If you want to use it for a pen or pencil holder or some other kind of holder, then you can. Some of them are small and pretty kind of, I mean, this is really cute with the little scalloped edge to it, but it's got a smaller frog inside, so it's not terribly big. Sometimes a little one is all you want. I do have one that's metal. So they did make metal ones. And I have filled the little container to hold it with buttons and antique wooden spools. Some of the spools have thread on them. Some are just empty spools like this. So that was one of the other things I was looking for. It's not only containers to go with the frogs, but in some cases I needed stuff to fill them with. So this is some of the stuff that I found. Let me see what else. I mean, we got a variety of things. I really like this shape of this jar with the nice little beveled side to it. It's got both of those things. I haven't filled the top. Now, if I was just using plain old buttons in here to fill it up, I could probably fill it all the way full, and you could still get your scissors down in it. But with the spools, I want to see the spools because I think they're cool, but then the scissors start going down and they would start hitting the spools if I filled it too full. So they're not filled full on purpose so that you can see everything. So that is what I have been making, and I am going to list those on my Instagram selling site, which is Bags by Wendy. So I do project bags. Those are going to be on there, as well as grime guards and other little bags and whatnot, needle minders, things like that. I'm going to have those listed on. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you might see this before this video comes out. You might see those listed just because they'll go up a little faster than it takes me to edit and post the video for YouTube. So look out for those if you are interested in any of that. Okay, other things that have been going on that I've been working on. I've been doing a lot of yard work again. It's never ending. You know, if you've watched that, my yard needs a lot of work, and I'm slowly picking away at it and getting things done. So I'm going to insert a clip of what I finished in the last 2 weeks, so you can see the progress I've made. And here is the latest thing that I have worked on. Lots of flowers again. There's the bike and the tree, or the birdhouses. So I I made these boxes. We'll start with that. Those 2 boxes. Can't tell if you can see how big they are. They're 5 feet long and about 16 inches deep. I don't know, maybe about 16 or so high. So, yeah, they're big ones. They took a lot of dirt. Anyway, these yellow flowers, the bees love them. The little honeybees and bumblebees love them. These are going to be purple. You can start to see that they got some bloomed out at the bottom, and a whole bunch they're going to pop. This grass will get really tall, so it'll help fill in and kind of block the view of the fence. And then these are like a trumpet vine. According to their tag, they say they only get to be like 3 to 5 feet tall, so they shouldn't get too much taller than that thing at the most, I hope. But been very, very busy. As you can see, I still got a lot to do, but I'm slowly working my way around getting things done. It just takes a while because I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, and got to figure it out. So I have worked very hard. So not this past week, but the week before that is when I worked on building them. And you can actually see them in the background here. I built the boxes. The trellis, the little kind of triangle pyramid looking trellis things, I actually made those when we lived in Minnesota and brought them with me when we moved. I know everybody looked at me like, why are you bringing these? I was like, it took me a little while to get these made, and I really, really like them, and I want to bring them. So there. I originally used them as like tomato cages. Because the way I made them, there's a bottom level that has parallel pieces of wood so the plant can come up through it to be supported, and then on the next level those parallel pieces are going the opposite direction, so it kind of supports the wind, the plant when it blows any direction. So I am using those. I've got 3 of the little trellis ones and then 2 of the big box ones. And then last week is when this past week is when I did the planting for them. And man, they took a lot more dirt than I thought they were going to. Probably because they're so big. But, go big or go home, I guess. So basically that takes up, for the yard, the lawn size that I have out here, I finished 2 sides around the lawn. There's a little nook in the back corner that I'm not sure entirely what I'm going to do with the rest of this. I kind of have some idea for the part that's behind where this camera is. I need a patio. I need a small deck. So that's going to fill up some of the spots, but knowing for sure what I'm going to do with the rest of it, don't know, nor do I know what I'm going to do with that little nook back there. So it's getting there, but it's slow. Probably this coming week, since I finished this stuff, and I also had a sewing job I had to get finished, so I couldn't stop and kind of work on some other things that I'd wanted to. I'm going to concentrate on, I've got some painting in that back corner that kind of got just set aside, because summer had ended and I hadn't finished it yet. So, but I'm getting to that, and hopefully that'll get done. Our shed, I'm not sure when that'll happen. I don't know if that's going to be something I'm going to be able to start this year, or if I'm going to have to wait till next year to paint that. I'm working on my son's room. I'm going to try and get that just pound out as much as I can in there. It's getting there. It's getting so close. I have half of the walls done. I actually hung up curtains. He has curtains now in there. The new curtain rod and curtains. Before it was just those icky old plastic blinds. I hate them. So those are gone and got nice curtains now. We're working on the 3rd wall, building the other door to the attic crawl space. I will have to do the ceiling. I'm going to replace the ceiling light. So there's still more to do, and I'm going to try and pound out as much as I can this coming week. If there's happens to be time, which I kind of doubt there will, it may have to wait till next week. I might start working on the vanity slash dresser that I am going to put in our upstairs bathroom. I'm going to change our sink. It's basically a pedestal sink right now, so I want to change it to more of a vanity, and I've already got the dresser. I actually have the sink already. I found it. I think I talked to you about this in the last video. I found that at IKEA. I will still have to get the faucet for it and do all the plumbing for it, but hopefully I'm going to start working on the dresser because it needs to be all sanded completely down and probably stained and put some kind of protective shellac varnish type stuff on it. So that's what I'm going to have going on in the next couple of weeks besides my stitching. So I think that was everything that I was going to come talk to you about. Hoping you are enjoying your summer. I am so happy that you came to visit and share your time with me. It's always a pleasure to have you come. I know we can be really busy during this time, even though we're kind of cooped up in homes, or we get sucked into watching a TV series, and then we forget to watch our Flosstubes that we wanted to watch. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming and being here with me. So with that, I think we will sign off, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks. See you later.